Hello folks and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a video of how we created our bespoke alcove unit so that it can house our television and so that it no longer has to sit on the floor in the corner. So we did get some local joiners in to help build this just because we aren't professionals when it comes to this and we wanted it to have a really nice quality finish. We went with Lees Custom Woodwork, so if you are in the northeast area, I would highly recommend working with these. They did an amazing job. All of the equipment was set up in the garden, ready to go, and they just cracked on getting all of the pieces built up and made together. So this won't necessarily be a video on how you can build this yourself, but more just a video of the process and how it all came together in the end. One of the main issues that we ran into is that in the corner of our living room, the flooring is like very uneven. We did have a structural survey done before we bought the property, so we did know of this before we bought it. However, it would have been a bigger job to dig all the flooring up and make this perfectly straight. That was kind of out of our budget, so we sort of fudged it a little bit and tried our best to just make it look as straight as possible. It's not a huge concern for us because the property is structurally sound and things like that, but we did blend it into the skirting board, as you could see in that shot there, just to make it look as straight as possible. We also went with the option of having a floating shelf above and then the space in the middle which will house the television. We also decided on these brass antique handles from Brass B, and anything that we use like accessory wise or handles, things like that, I'll put all the links in the description box below. So in the center of the cupboards we also wanted to replicate the beading on the wall that we did. So as you can see in the center panels we have the squares with the beading just to kind of blend everything in nicely. But this was the finished build. Once we got to this section, it was time to start with the paint. Alright, so today's task is to crack on with painting the TV cabinet. This is currently what it looks like. It's really, this wood makes it look like it's already painted green, but it's actually not. It's just the material that the builders used. Apparently it's this colour already. But yeah, we're going to paint this the same colour as the wall in the background so it all blends in. Not really sure what we're going to do here with this trim. We might actually just cut it there and then paint this as well. So because like unfortunately in this area of the house the floor is a little bit uneven, but that's just because the house is old. So hopefully that'll not make it look as obvious if we paint this the same to blend it in, but we'll see when we get to that point. But this is just a quick shot of what it looks like before, and yeah, hopefully it looks alright. So it's time to get some paint on, folks. We are using Valspar's dead flat matte paint in the colour Turning Tables. paint was dry, it was time to sand down the cupboard doors. We actually ended up doing this 4 times altogether just to give it a really nice smooth finish. We also did it on the shelf and we did it on the TV shelf as well. So the whole thing got painted 4 times, sanded down, and you kind of just repeat the process until you get like a really smooth, fine edge to everything. Then it was time to get the cupboard doors back on, so that is what we are doing here. We also put those antique brass handles back on as well. And then I shall leave you with some beauty shots, folks, of the final design. I know it wasn't overly informative or how to, but I still thought that it was nice to show you how this area came together. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see how the rest of the house turns out. And I shall see you in the next one.